From the Rockville campus of Montgomery College Television presents NJCAA basketball with the Montgomery College Raptors welcoming the Lions from CCBC-Dundalk. Hi everybody, I'm Michael Brown, and it is my pleasure to welcome in my partner Marcus Rosano for a big NJCAA basketball doubleheader. Marcus, great to be back together again.
Thank you, Michael. As always, it's good to be alongside you, the voice of Montgomery College Athletics.
Well, Marcus, like I said, we have an important doubleheader on tap tonight. In our opener, the Montgomery College women's team takes on the women's team from Dundalk, and in our nightcap, the MC men take on the nationally ranked Dundalk Lions men's team. And for both of these games tonight, the importance is ramped up a little bit because the postseason starts next week. First, we've got the Maryland JUCO tournament. Then following immediately thereafter, we have the NJCAA Region 20 tournament. So positive momentum is important for these teams as they head into the postseason. They want to be playing their best ball so that they feel good about themselves when the tournaments start. Now, in our opener, we're going to be keeping a close eye on a Montgomery College team that appears to be getting it together at just the right time. I talked to Tarla Gasquet, their head coach, last week, and she told me, Michael, I think I'm finally seeing the team I thought I was going to see all season long.
Michael, we've been waiting all season for the Montgomery College women's basketball team to gain that momentum. Now, we saw them last time against Chesapeake, one of the best teams not only in Maryland but in the country, and it was a resounding defeat. They had to look at themselves in the mirror and really find out who they were as a club. Now, like you said, they've won 5 straight basketball games, and they have a late season signature win to hang their hat on. They went out to Baltimore and played Baltimore City Community College. They were down 13 points. They were in a hostile environment with a hostile crowd, and they were challenged person to person by their coach. They regrouped, they brought the game to overtime, and then they blew out BCCC in the extra frame. Now, the familiar faces, Angelica Sacconi, Megan Tillman, and they have really been filling up the box scores, but it was the guard play. And Nicole Cunningham, I should not forget to mention. Nicole Cunningham has been the post player that we've been looking for, but it's the guard play that we've really had the question marks about, and they're really talented. Jabria Smith and Kiana Daly. Is it a 2-guard? Is it a point guard? Who's the shooting guard? So they've really come together, and they've started to mesh. So from the looks of it, as Kiana Daly goes and as Jabria Smith go, so go the Raptors.
Well, the Raptors want to keep that momentum going tonight. When I talked to Tarla Gasquet the other day, she told me that after that Chesapeake loss on January 11th, they had a team meeting, and they dedicated themselves to a new goal, and that's to not lose another game for the rest of the regular season. And so far, so good. But on the other hand, you've got Tarla Gasquet's good friend, Rob Long. He's the head coach of the Dundalk Lions, and I think he's got other plans for tonight. He told me that even though his team has been hurt by injury this year, he says, whenever we play Montgomery, my team is up. We're ready to play. So we're looking forward to a good one. We are just about ready to get underway. We'll be right back with the start of the game after this. You're watching Montgomery College basketball on MCTV.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Register today.
One word to describe Montgomery College: awesome.
Interesting.
Fun.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Inspirational.
Spectacular.
Family.
Nice.
Diverse.
Excellent.
Surprising. Perfect.
Opportunity.
Fun.
Great.
Exhausting.
Inspiring.
Flexible. Excellent.
Awesome.
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 back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. We just finished a special sophomore ceremony. We'll be talking more about that as the game goes on. And we are now just about ready for the national anthem and the starting lineups for both clubs. And we happen to know that Montgomery College is going to be starting all of their sophomores tonight.
And that's a good gesture by Coach Gasquet.
And now we're going to take a pause for our national anthem, and then we'll be right back with our starting lineup.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise for our national anthem.
Getting closer to tip-off, and now it's time to meet the starters for both teams. First, for the visitors from CCBC-Dundalk. CCBC stands for the Community College of Baltimore County, and this is the Dundalk campus. Starting at center, number 1, Trinae Ford. She's a 6-foot freshman out of Baltimore City College High School. Next up, number 11 at guard, Breonna B. She's a 5'8" forward from Baltimore City High School as well in Baltimore. Next up, number 11. I'm sorry, that is Breonna B. as we went out of order there. Breonna B., a guard, 5'8" from Baltimore City. And then next up, number 15, Mariana Joyner. She's a sophomore, forward, 5'10". And finally, number 25, Crystal Crawford, a guard, a freshman guard, 5'5", out of Mergenthaler Vocational High School.
And the head coach of CCBC-Dundalk is Rob Long. He is in his 6th season, and his assistants are Jasmine Ward and Monique Bassett.
And now we're going to meet the starters for the homestanding Montgomery College Raptors. At guard, number 10, sophomore guard, Ashley Latter from Wheaton High School. And next up, number 20, Amy Hart, a sophomore guard, 5'5", out of Kennedy High School. Next up, number 23, the sophomore forward, Angelica Ciccone from Walt Whitman High School, co-captain of the team. And next up, number 32, forward guard, Megan Tillman, a 5'9" sophomore out of Rockville High School. And finally, in the pivot, number 40, Nicole Cunningham, a 6'2" forward from Seneca Valley High School.
MC's top assistant coach is former MC star, Melissa Weithman. She played here just a few years ago and was an All-American. MC's other assistants, Latasha Gaither, also played for MC, and Pat Carden in her 8th season. Head coach of the Raptors is Coach Tarla Gasquet. Michael, the success of this program is very impressive. She turns out, as we know, a national contender every single season.
She certainly does, and of course she is the winningest active coach in NJCAA Division III. Right now, she is the winningest active coach. Both teams are out on the floor. Montgomery College in the white with the purple highlights, and Dundalk is in the dark blue with the red numbers. And we are ready to get underway as we've got Nicole Cunningham. And she's going to be jumping center against number 1, Trinae Ford, one of the best players on this Dundalk team. Montgomery College controls the tap, and there's Ciccone taking it all the way to the hoop. Out to Tillman, fall away jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound to number 15, Mariana Joyner.
As you mentioned, Trinae Ford, she's averaging almost 14 boards a game.
There's a steal by Cunningham.
We'll see how Nicole Cunningham can neutralize Trinae Ford underneath when they're hitting the glass.
Ashley Latter to Tillman. Inside, and it's out of bounds, but it'll stay at the Montgomery College end.
Coach Long wants to keep this game in the half court. He wants to run a zone. He's undermanned. We all know it. But hey, you know, he knows they come here to play.
Yeah, he's had some injuries, and he had a couple of injuries that we did not expect. Another starter. There's Amy Hart. Gets things off to a good start for the Raptors with a 2. Anyway, back to Dundalk. They had 2 players that went out with season-ending injuries before the season even started. Then one of their best players, Kelly Alston, broke her hand. And then Shannon Hitchens, their point guard, is out for the game also. So he is shorthanded tonight. As the Raptors control it. There's Amy Hart running the point.
That three-pointer by Amy Hart matches her season average.
Inside to Ciccone, inside to Tillman. Up, no good. Rebound to Joyner.
Looks like Coach Gasquet is trying to work the ball into the paint early on. Dundalk is undersized, so it's a good idea to get the ball into Nicole Cunningham and Megan Tillman and Ciccone down low.
There's a turnover as number 25, Crystal Crawford, threw the ball away. Be MC's ball, and so 2-0, and we're a minute and a half in.
Coach Long says that he thinks Coach Gasquet would not mind playing a half court. I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And I talked to her about that yesterday, and she said, I don't think so. As Ashley Latter hits a 3.
I think he was playing a little game with us.
I think he was too. And of course, he knows Tarla Gasquet very well. He respects her. Told me he respects her more than any other coach in Maryland JUCO.
He's probably not the only coach in Maryland that feels that way either.
No, she's highly respected.
Michael, we saw Ashley Latter hit another three-pointer. Last time we were out here, she was a spark off the bench. She came in when MC needed, a lift, and she started hitting three-pointers like crazy. And this is her first ever career start. And hey, why not? Let's pick up where we left off.
Threw right into the teeth of the press, and a turnover. There's a shot no good by Ford, and here comes Latter. She's also a crowd favorite.
Yes, she is. But you see her everywhere at every field.
Well, that's because she's a three-sport star. Soccer, softball, and basketball. Nice play inside.
Wow, what a dump down pass. Nicole Cunningham sealed position, got a great look from the wing by Angelica Ciccone, and that's about as easy as it's going to get for Nicole tonight.
And it's 7-0, and Rob Long quickly calls a timeout. And he is not happy over there as his team is off to a slow start. They've already got 4 turnovers.
And he's quite animated. I had to text a couple of my buddies who live up in Baltimore that their man, Rob Long, is going to be the coach here for our game tonight. He's a personality, I guess a very famous personality in Baltimore. He has a radio show. He does sports TV. And, of course, for us, he comes down and he coaches some basketball.
All right, well, here's Dundalk on the attack. Crystal Crawford with the ball. Joyner. There's Crawford from outside, and it's good.
Nice look for Crystal Crawford. Shooting 30% from three.
Amy Hart, nice look inside to Ciccone.
I don't think there's a player on the court who has a better feel for position than Angelica Ciccone. She knows where to be at all times.
She is just in the right place at the right time. We say that all the time. She's got a lot of basketball smarts, and she's a hard worker, a real blue-collar player. There's Cunningham, and she's fouled on the drive to the basket.
Coach Long's coming out in a press early. That's surprising with a short bench like that.
Well, and again, that it kind of tells you when I interviewed him last week, he might have been playing with me a little bit. He says, oh, we don't press much because we have a short bench. And I'm thinking, really?
He hosts a radio call-in show. He's used to talking to guys like us on the phone.
Yeah, he is. And number 13, Shakayla Pitts, getting ready to check in for Dundalk.
It's nice to see the Raptors pull an early lead with the altered starting lineup to honor the four sophomores, Angelica, Amy Hart, Ashley Latter, and Megan Tillman. I mean, you still have your Daly, you still have your Jabria Smith on the bench.
Yeah, you got a lot of weapons sitting on the bench waiting their turn. And but of course, it was a great honor to start the sophomores tonight, and you know they played well. And I'm not sure what the holdup is. I think it's an issue as the referee. We see one of the referees talking to Tarla Gasquet, the head coach of the Raptors. Been the head coach for 8 years. She was an assistant for several years before that. She's been around MC for a long time.
It was funny, before the game, Coach Carden came running up just a couple of minutes before we went on the air, said, I've got a change in the starting lineup. It's the four sophomores and Nicole. It's like, all right, well, we'll get it, Coach. Thanks for telling us. You'd ahead of us. That is looking all around.
And she makes the second. And Raptors up now 11-5. There's a foul.
Nicole's getting her free throw shooting percentage up. It's almost at 63 now, and I know watching her shoot free throws, you wonder, why is she just teetering around 55, 60%? Because she's got a nice stroke from the line. A lot of it has to do with conditioning as well, and as she gets in better condition, as she has, as the season has progressed, that's going to even become a better number than 62% at the line.
Absolutely, and we're getting to that time of the season where those foul shots become more and more crucial once you get into the postseason tournament.
Oh, yeah, especially with your 6'2" post player.
That's right, because she's going to get fouled a lot.
Our Raptor is on hand tonight, Michael, as he has been at most of our home games this year.
As Amy Hart makes another one. Yeah, we love the Raptor.
He loves us, too. He always comes around.
He does. He seems to be here whenever we are.
He's not camera shy.
There's Pitts and drive, and she loses control and steps on the end line, and that'll turn it over to Montgomery College.
Shaquilla Pitts is one of the new additions for Dundalk.
Wrong number.
Ashley Latter. Ciccone, Tillman. Ciccone gets it up. There's Latter from three. No good. Rebound to Hart. Nice putback. No good. Ciccone right there again.
That's a weak side rebound where Amy Hart shot the ball from the right side, and Angelica Ciccone is on the weak side, waiting for the ball to come off the rim, and that's exactly what happened.
She knows what to do. Oh, nice jump shot there by Trinae Ford.
Yeah, talk about a player averaging 13 and 13.
Yeah, she's a player.
Those are some nice fantasy basketball stats right there.
That's for sure.
and almost 3 steals a game. So that's an athlete, number one.
Well, Rob Long didn't tell me any tales about her. He said she's a great athlete and a great post player with some guard skills, and we just saw it all on display right there. And there's a steal there by number 11, Brianna B, turning the ball over. And Kiana Daly has come in for Ashley Latter, and Jabria Smith is in for Amy Hart. So this would have been most likely the starting lineup for Montgomery College had it not been for sophomore night.
Yep, this is your starting 5, and there is Dundalk going full court.
Kiana Daly, she's really been on a roll lately. Her numbers have been on the rise. Zacconi, Cunningham off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound again to Ford. Long pass up court. That time they beat him down the floor, but there's Jabria Smith to pick up the loose ball, and she pushes it. Gets it to Tillman. Up no good. Tillman gets her own rebound and puts it in.
Nice push of the basketball by Jabria Smith. That's her game. She wants to get the ball, and she wants to go 100 miles an hour, 94 feet. And that sets up rebounds and dishes like she did with Megan Tillman.
She's one of the fastest players we've seen all season. There's Pitts with a good rebound. And that time Cunningham comes down with it. And here comes Smith again, all the way to the basket. No good. Boy, when those start falling.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they have been falling.
She took it right to the hole, and she actually beat Dundalk back in transition by herself.
Long jump shot. No good there by number 23, Trayona Thomas. Zacconi inside to Cunningham. Nice move. Look at the left hand. Gets her own rebound.
Wow. That was an interesting spin move. She spun with the right hand into the lane, switched it to the left, and sort of did a finger roll, but it was there to get her own rebound and put back.
There's Ford, no good.
That's the athleticism that had Maryland and Duke and other D1 programs looking at Nicole Cunningham when she was a high school standout.
There's Jabria Smith, nice fadeaway.
Talk about Jabria Smith. We were talking about stat lines and fantasy stats. That's a young lady who had 21 points and 10 steals against Baltimore.
That's a very unusual double-double. There's a long bomb by number 23, Trayona Thomas. 21-12, Montgomery College.
What happened to that half-court, slow-down, ugly game that Coach Long was talking about? Come on, Coach. You can't pull a fast one on us.
Double team there. And Crawford comes out with it. Trayona Thomas takes it all the way, loses control. And they call a foul on Montgomery College.
Ooh, Thomas was a little out of control there. I think she got bailed out by the referee.
She certainly was out of control. Let's see it.
Well, Angelica was moving, thanks to our nice replay shot from our MCTV cameras.
So that's a foul on Zacconi. And Cunningham takes a seat. Amy Hart comes back in. Why not? She got off to a great start. There's a shot, no good, and rebound to Hart. She pushes it up the floor to Daly, drives, shoots, no good. Rebound to Thomas. Crawford drives, out of control again, gets away with a travel. And there's Hart. Zacconi out in front, has it for the easy two.
You know, earlier in the year, we thought that Amy Hart was going to be one of the answers to their point guard problem, but it really hasn't meshed. It almost seems like Amy is more adept at driving the basketball, or like she just did, getting a rebound and pushing it up court, as opposed to setting the offense at the top of the key and running your play set.
Very athletic player. Daly to Smith, and it's good. That's a three.
And there's the other player that we were talking about playing point guard, but this is somebody who runs as fast as you can, 100 miles an hour up and down the court, is as fast and athletic as anybody, and then she shoots a three, and she has a great shot.
And there's a travel on Crawford as she was tied up by Kiana Daly. Heads up play. She brought the ball down to her waist. And
Jabria Smith is the best pure scorer on the team, and Coach Gasquet knows that, and that's one of the reasons why she took some pressure off of Jabria and put Kiana Daly to start to run the point. But again, as Coach Gasquet was talking to you, it's sort of like a tandem running the point.
Zahara Sani has checked in for Montgomery College. She's number 55. There's Daly for three, and it's good.
Who needs a point guard when you can shoot and run like Daly and Smith can?
Well, Daly has her shot has really started to fall during this winning streak, and she's really making her presence known. That's inside to Mason Piper, and Kiana Daly gets the rebound and pushes it up the floor to Saccone. She fakes out her man and scores.
Nice play.
And Rob Ford's calling another timeout for Dundalk as Montgomery College on a nice run, leading 31-14. So as we look at the Montgomery College huddle, we see the sophomore there. We see Ashley Latter there, number 10. One of the sophomores. There's Megan Tillman, Amy Hart, and of course Angelica Saccone. Hart just joined the team this year. She transferred in from Howard Community College. But the other three, as we see from right to left, Latter, Saccone, and Tillman, they're all three two-year players for Montgomery College.
And those three players, Saccone, Latter, and Tillman, have pretty much been the face of Montgomery College basketball for the last couple of years. And you add in Amy Hart, who is a nice find from Howard Community College.
Absolutely.
Coach Gasquet will take that any time of day, bringing another player from a rival. But these four young ladies have really, really played well for the Raptors this year. And again, Tillman and Saccone, we talked about it all season, that they were sort of the glue players that Montgomery College was looking for. And we've always been talking about, are all these ingredients going to be put together to make that excellent team towards the end of the season? And Saccone and Tillman were the two integral pieces that we were looking for. And now they're playing really, really well. They're playing their best basketball of the season at the perfect time.
They sure are. I mean, I think about Angelica Saccone, who struggled a couple of times this year, mainly because of her knee problem. And she is really getting it together here the last few weeks. Same with Tillman.
But one thing she doesn't struggle with is effort.
That's for sure. Great steal there by Jabria Smith ahead to Hart. And they set up the offense now. There's Saccone down the lane, and nice.
Wow. And then the other thing you and I were talking about, it doesn't always look as graceful as Michael Jordan, if you would, out there, or Diana Taurasi, but she gets the job done, and the ball goes in the bucket.
That is for sure. I called her blue collar earlier, and that's a compliment, folks. That's a hard-working player out there. As Montgomery College enjoying a nice lead. There's Sani. Now, Zahara Sani is playing right. She's getting more minutes tonight than she normally would because of the injury to Kiera McKellery.
McKellery's been coming on of late.
Yeah, and normally she is one of the first off the bench in the post, but she hyperextended her knee the other night. There's another nice shot by Daly.
Didn't Coach Gasquet tell you that Daly has the green light whenever the ball hits her hands?
She's been talking to her, and she said, listen, nobody can stop you. And there's a foul and a bucket, and that'll put Crystal Crawford on the line. But back to Kiana Daly for a second. Tarla Gasquet told me, she said, I've been talking to her. I've been telling her, listen, nobody can stop you. And if you're feeling it, I want you to take over the game. And she's got the ability to do it.
In the beginning of the season, well, even before the season started, you and I remember Coach Gasquet's eyes lighting up when she talked about this two-guard that was coming from Roxbury, Massachusetts. We said, she must have a good one coming from Roxbury. And she was right. But again, it was just a matter of getting these players to mesh.
Yeah, a lot of that is just you know, you had 12 new players on the team this year, or 11 new players on the team this year, just 3 returners. So a lot of meshing, a lot of getting to know each other, knowing what each other's strengths and weaknesses are, where you're going to be on the court, those types of things. There's a long pass to Ciccone, and she gets tied up and travels. That was a tough play for Ciccone.
Yes, it was. I was wondering what Angelica was going to do on that play.
I mean, that'd take a wide receiver to bring that one down. There's Crawford, and it's tipped away by Tillman. Daly picks it up. Daly tries to dish it to Tillman, but she's fouled. Foul on number 11, Breonna B. That'll put Kiana Daly at the line. As Marcus said, she's from Roxbury, Massachusetts, and her numbers have been going up. 72% foul shooter.
I mean, we all knew she could shoot it. That was her reputation coming in, that she would be, you know, the answer at shooting guard.
And a second, no good.
But sometimes a coach has to do, you know, a coach has to do what a coach has to do, and Jabria Smith and her are sort of interchangeable. And they're very skilled offensive players.
There's a whistle. And an offensive foul on number 1, Trinae Ford.
And it's nice to see Kiana Daly. I mean, she comes from all the way from Roxbury, so there's a lot of pressure on that young lady's shoulders. But as Coach was telling you, she is such a team player. She told Coach Gasquet she'd do whatever it takes for the Raptors to be better.
There's Amy Hart. Boy, she had a freeway to travel down. No problem at all for Amy Hart, who's off to a great start today on sophomore night.
So to get Jabria Smith more opportunities to put the ball in the basket, you gave a lot more responsibility in ball handling to Kiana Daly.
And that took some of the pressure off Jabria Smith, who I think was, Coach Gasquet would agree, was feeling that a little bit, a little too much burden on those slender shoulders.
Well,
There's Ford, she goes up.
These
and
kids
she's
come.
fouled.
They come from a high school program where Jabria Smith was getting the ball and scoring the basketball each and every time down the court, and now it's a different level of basketball. There's a different play set that you have to, you know, be involved in, and that's a lot to put, you know, to put on a freshman in college.
Yeah, she went to Washington Latin High School, and she was basically the deal. And she had the ball in her hands probably 75% of the time. And it's a tough adjustment when you come to this level. Ciccone with the rebound. Outstanding rebounder. Far ahead to Tillman, who was all alone. And that's just a defensive breakdown for Dundalk.
Well, that's a combination that we're going to miss, Michael. Ciccone to Tillman. You know that?
Well, that's been a frequently called play over the last couple of years. There's a shot, no good. Sani with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Tillman. Nice job. To Hart. And there's a turnover. As number 23, Thomas brings it up to B. We haven't seen B get untracked yet. She is the top scorer on the team.
She's averaging 15 a game, and I can't believe that she's averaging more points than Trinae Ford or even Triana Thomas. Thomas and Ford really appear like they got some game to them. But as you said, Brianna B is averaging 15 points a game, leading the team.
Well, according to Ron Blanc, she can put the team on her back when she gets hot. He said she usually takes a while to warm up, and the second half she usually gets hot. So we'll see what happens. Here's Ciccone, got a lot of basketball left. Daly from 3, little strong, no good. Battle for the rebound, Tillman on the floor, but Crawford comes up with it for Dundalk. Ahead to no good. Number 15, Joyner, missed that one. Amy Hart to the hoop with the left hand.
Wow. She's had quite a first half, Amy Hart, answering the bell.
Boy, she sure has. Raptors with 12 rebounds to just 7 for Dundalk in the early going. Hart already has 8 points. And that's a great sign for Montgomery College. They can get more contribution out of her going into the postseason. That can only help.
We thought this team was going to be about as deep as any team that Coach Gasquet has ever had here.
Well, like she told me, she said, I think I'm finally starting to see the team that I thought I would have all year. There's Crawford with a nice, strong move.
Nice spin move.
Didn't fall for her. Here's Hart pushing it, taking it all the way and scoring.
I don't know how many times we say at a game, you have to stop the ball.
And they did not. And Amy Hart has 10 points to show for it. Really nice to see. She got 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. She's got a full stat line already. So we get a travel there on number 15, Joyner.
And it's nice to see it on sophomore night as her parents were able to meet her out at half court and get that plaque before the game.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the sophomore night ceremony as the game progresses. But there was a very nice ceremony prior to the game to honor the Montgomery College graduating sophomores. And there is a offensive foul on number 55, Sani. Turns the ball over to Dundalk. And there's a 3 from Brianna B. We were just talking about her, wondering when she was going to heat up.
Wow, that's with the rotation on that shot, that was textbook. So I guess I could see what Coach Long was talking about.
Ashley Latter back in the ball game for Montgomery College. There's Megan Tillman to Daly for 3 off the iron, no good. And Crawford comes out with it. I'm sorry, Thomas.
And I don't know if we've mentioned it, but this is a Division II program from Dundalk.
Montgomery College, of course, Division III.
And the differences between Division III and Division II and Division I. Division II and Division I players at NJCAA level. I don't want people get confused of Division I, II, and III at the NCAA level. But you can get money to come here to help with your tuition and your room and board at a Division II and Division I program. At Division III, you cannot. In other words, it's scholarships.
That's right. Division III, you play basketball for the love of the game. There's Ford, no good. She got off to a real fast start, but she's been quiet lately.
And that's why quite often when we see Division I and Division II teams here in the gym, their roster is from all over the country or all over the Mid-Atlantic, depending on who you play. And most often when you have the Montgomery College roster, you look down, it's mostly Montgomery County or PG or Washington, D.C.
44-21, Raptors with a nice, comfortable lead here in the first half, but they're playing with good intensity. Ford, turnaround, no good. Nicole Cunningham with the rebound. Kiana Daly pushes it up the floor. Gets it to Latter in the corner. Down low to Ciccone, puts it up, no good. Nice follow.
Nice put back by Nicole Cunningham.
She's looking much smoother than she did earlier in the season, and obviously the more she plays, the better she gets. Of course, she sat out for a couple of years.
And if she doesn't get boxed out, you're 6'2", and you average 10 rebounds a game, you're going to get some easy putbacks.
Daly to Tillman, wide open, and it's good.
How many times have we seen Megan Tillman hit that baseline jump shot? A lot. That's been one of our favorite players over the last couple of years.
That's been a signature play, and we're going to get another look at it here, courtesy of our great MC camera guys, MC-TV camera guys. And it's Corey Wallace over there giving us that shot.
And it always helps when a player like Megan comes over to us before the game and shakes our hand and asks how her favorite announcers are.
You got to love that. She's one of the nicest kids on the team.
And I'm pretty sure we're her only announcers, by the way.
Well, that may be true. That may be true. But we're going to miss her. She's been one of our favorites. Of course, she'll be a graduating sophomore. rebounding battle, Dundalk surprisingly on top in the rebounds, 22-12. Field goals, Montgomery College 21 out of 35, Dundalk 8 out of 29. And turnovers, Dundalk with 13-8 for Montgomery College.
Those rebounding numbers are skewed because Montgomery College has taken a lot of shots.
Right, and they've made a lot of shots, as evidenced by their 48-21 lead with 2:46 to go in the first half. Nice look down to Ciccone from Daly. So Daly running the point nicely. And there's Ford. B drives, puts it up, and that's a foul.
MC's got their not customary white uniforms on tonight. I actually like them.
I do too. These are special uniforms. They've only worn them a couple of times this year. They wore them for their breast cancer awareness game, and they're wearing them tonight on sophomore night. So 2 special nights this season. But it's a good look. Normally their home uniform is gray with the Raptor purple numbers. This is Brianna B., freshman guard, as you see, from Baltimore City College High School.
73% foul shooter.
And there's Ciccone, nice bucket. And that, again, is the Angelica Ciccone we got so used to seeing last year, making those tough, contested, mid-range jumpers. And she's a tough kid. I mean, she'll take an elbow and just keep right on going. Tillman ahead to Ciccone. That time it's intercepted by B.
I don't know how. I don't know if there's not a Division III NCAA team that wouldn't like to have an Angelica Ciccone on next year. I mean, I don't know what her plans are to go to the 4-year school, but she can make a roster.
Oh, she absolutely can, because she'll just do whatever it takes. There she is, taking that nice feed from Daly.
And you see what she just did? She beat everybody in transition, and that's part of the effort. That's part of giving 110% every single time down the court. She's beating players up the court, and the Raptors find her.
Just filling that lane, and a great lead pass there from Kiana Daly. And this time Ciccone comes up with a steal off a tip by Daly. Over to Kiana Daly, takes the open jumper, and good.
And that would be an assist to Angelica Ciccone.
Nice assist from Angelica Ciccone, and nothing but net for Kiana Daly, and the Raptors are rolling here in the first half, on top 56-23, under a minute to go.
It's hard to believe that this Raptors team lost 4 out of 5 at one point in the season.
It really is. It really is. And there's a turnover, stepped on the inline. Montgomery College will take over. And just over 30 seconds to go in the first half. Working the ball around the perimeter. There's Tillman from 3, no good, and it's off the top of the backboard, so it'll go over to Dundalk with 20 seconds left to go in the first half. And obviously Dundalk going for the last shot as Crystal Crawford dribbles it out top. There's B from 3. And it turned out to be a nice feed, but Ford missed the putback. So that is the end of our first half, with the Montgomery College Raptors holding a nice lead at 56-23. Stick with us, because after the break, Marcus and I will be right back with a look at the first half stats and the start of the second half. You're watching Montgomery College basketball on MC TV.
No matter where you're headed, No matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Register today.
One word to describe Montgomery College: awesome.
Interesting.
Fun.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Inspirational.
Spectacular.
Family.
Nice.
Diverse.
Excelling.
Surprising. Perfect.
Opportunity.
Fun.
Great.
Exhausting.
Inspiring.
Flexible. Excellent.
Awesome.
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 It's a bird of prey.
Why a bird?
A raptor is a bird of prey. So that's going to be a bird that is a carnivore that hunts other animals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Some general characteristics of raptors are very sharp hooked beaks in order to tear and eat the meat of their prey, and also very sharp, very strong talons to allow them to capture their prey.
Okay, well, I think that's fierce then. I think that's good.
It's definitely a little bit intimidating, and I feel like we want to intimidate our opponents, and I think it definitely shows a little bit of the spirit of Montgomery College, because birds of prey are like sort of at the top of the food chain for birds, and hey, I feel like Montgomery College is at the top of the food chain.
Can I do a raptor noise? I would fail. No. I don't know.
That's what the sound would be like. It's a very intimidating sound. Seriously.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
In 1946, Montgomery Junior College opened its doors, offering classes in the basement of Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. The college only offered night classes initially, and as a result, the athletics program became known as the Knights. There was a lack of funding for athletics uniforms when the college opened, so the football team's gear consisted of hand-me-downs donated by the Washington Redskins. Frank Rubini, a faculty member known to all as Rube, is credited with organizing the fledgling athletics department, and his football team was a standout in the early years. Led by stars like lineman Ted Lineski, the Knights had back-to-back undefeated seasons in 1953 and 54, and made their first bowl appearance on Thanksgiving Day, 1954. When the Rockville campus opened in 1965, the Knights moved to the new campus, and for the first time, the football team had a home field on campus. The Tacoma Park campus then adopted the nickname Falcons and adopted a blue and gold color scheme. With the opening of the Germantown campus in the 1970s, a third team was born, the Griffins. For years, Montgomery College continued to field teams at all three campuses, cultivating a rich athletic history, including numerous bowl games, state and regional championships, junior college World Series appearances, and countless honors for student athletes. These teams were led by legendary coaches like Phil Martin, Tom Bickey, and Kelly Wakeman. MC has won national championships in golf and tennis, and in 2011, women's soccer beat Monroe to claim the national title. In 2012, the athletic program was consolidated and a one-college approach was adopted. Athletes don't play for a single campus anymore, they play for Montgomery College. The Knights, Griffins, and Falcons may have been succeeded by the Raptors, but their place in Montgomery College sports history is indelible and will always be revered.
Felipe Galazzo. I'm a graphic design student. I've been at MC for 2 years, and now I've transferred to MICA. So I was born in Uruguay, and I've been moving around a lot around the world. Well, I moved to DC about 2 years ago, and I started looking up colleges because I didn't know anything around here, and I think Montgomery College had one of the best graphic design programs and facilities. My graphic design class, Valerie Burkhart, gave it out as an optional assignment, and I thought it'd be an awesome opportunity to. I've always wanted to do a sports-styled illustration, so it was a great opportunity to do that. I weighed the pros and cons of every velociraptors against every type of bird of prey. I discarded the velociraptor because there was already a Raptors basketball team. I weighed the pros and cons of every bird, and I kind of put all the pros together and started sketching from that, trying to get all the positive things into one focused idea, I guess. I guess the aggressiveness and intellect, they're all very smart animals. So I think that's something that can relate to MC students, and they're also very international, I guess, so kind of like the school spirit here at MC. I think everything that I initially wanted to get in there, all the fierceness, the intelligence, the speed, it all got in there, so I'm pretty happy with that. So this design was when I was getting pretty close to the end, the final process. We wanted to have the raptor going down towards its prey, like ready to grab it, pick it up. The tail was pointing down, like it's not usual, but it kind of gave it a more fierce, unique look, and that sort of led to this, which was the final sketch, I guess, which it embodies like all the same qualities, and it's just a little bit more refined. It's an honor, really. I hope I can come back in like 10 years and still see it around, and even after that, so.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Register today.
Welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown alongside my partner Marcus Rosano. We are at halftime of the first game of our doubleheader, and the Montgomery College Raptors enjoying, I think it's fair to say, a 56-23 lead.
56-23. There are no giveaways for 100 points. There's no free tacos, nothing. They might get to 100 points. Granted, Rob Long's Dundalk team is undermanned. We knew that. We knew that coming in. But the Raptors, to borrow a cliche, are hitting on all cylinders, and that's a good sign. We talked about this team getting all the ingredients put together, and they're meshing. They're playing with each other as a team. As we can see the stats here, they're moving the ball well, and they have 13 assists on their 25 baskets. So if you're assisting at over 50% rate on your baskets made, that's excellent team basketball.
Well, and you look at some of the outstanding performances in the first half. Angelica Ciccone on sophomore night, she's doing it upright. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Second leading scorer, also one of the sophomores on sophomore night, Amy Hart, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. So 2 of the sophomores doing a great job out there.
As well they should, and Amy Hart got the start, and she answered the call. I mean, and she was racing up and down the court as we saw. And Angelica Ciccone, we talk about it game in and game out, that she just knows where to be on the basketball court, and whether it's getting a steal, whether it's getting a pass, whether it's getting on the baseline, she just knows where to be, and she's got a 16-point, 7 rebound, 3 assist halftime box score.
And one more note before we take a quick break. Montgomery College, 25 of 40 from the field in the first half. That's one of their best shooting halves of the year so far. So listen, we're going to be right back with the start of the second half. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Montgomery College basketball on MC TV.
Some birds of prey specialize in fish, so they would eat almost all fish in their diet. And some of those raptors have special pads on their feet where they actually have hooked barbs that allow them to have a much better grip when they are diving and grabbing for those fish. And then they have additional adaptations that allow their feet and toes to orient in such a way that they can carry the fish head first while they're flying back to where they're going to feed on the fish to minimize the wind resistance.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, over 130 programs of study, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. Register today.
One word to describe Montgomery College: awesome.
Interesting.
Fun.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Inspirational.
Spectacular. Family.
Nice.
Diverse.
Excellent.
Surprising. Perfect.
Opportunity.
Fun.
Great.
Exhausting.
Inspiring.
Flexible.
Excellent.
Awesome.
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 And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. We are just about ready to get the second half underway as we take a look at the Dundalk huddle. They're on the short end of the score right now as the Raptors well in front at 56-23. And there we see Angelica Saccone walking out onto the floor, the leading scorer for the Raptors in the first half with 16 points.
I know Coach Long is a motivational, sort of a high-spirited kind of guy. How does he get his Lions to come out, and just play like there was no scoreboard, down, 56-23? I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's the type of personality that could.
He certainly could. He is a motivational guy, very upbeat, very positive guy. I love talking to him on the phone. He's a great interview. But his team has got to play like they really can't see the scoreboard. And I think the first 5-10 minutes of this half are really going to tell the tale to see if they have any gas left in their tank. Because Montgomery College ran them out of the gym in the first half.
And we've said this before when we've had blowouts before when we've played other teams. And it sometimes is the mark of a team that even though they're down 20, they're down 30, they never give up. They're hitting the floor, they're bloody in their elbows, and you look up, and they're down 56-23. So that's the mark of a good team. That just shows, what they're like in practice. And it's interesting to see if Dundalk is going to play the same way. I have a feeling they will. 56-23. They had the cards stacked against them coming into Rockville tonight. you know, and I'm surprised, and we talked about it at halftime, you and I did, that he didn't kind of pull the air out of the ball, if you would. Just slow it down when he knew that he's undermanned. He knew he didn't want to get into a running game, and that's pretty much what happened. They didn't slow the ball down. He didn't play that ugly brand of basketball, but sometimes you're not allowed to when the other team is dictating the pace like the Raptors did.
Well, the Raptors definitely dictated the pace. As we see the two old friends there, Carla Gasque and Rob Long, conferring with one of the officials. Seems to be, I'm not sure what the issue is that they are discussing, but there was a lot of laughter there too as well. Of course, the two of them have a lot of respect for each other.
I'm predicting it was, I'm guessing it was possession arrow. That's what they were talking about. But.
Yes, I think they wanted to know whether that was correct or not. And we are underway here in the second half. And we'll reset the lineups.
MC starts out in the 2-3.
And there's Brianna B. Number 23 is Trayona Thomas, and she makes a three to start things out. And they put a little press on, and there's a travel as Trayona Thomas gets things off to a great start by hitting a three and then causing a turnover. So you have Thomas, Joyner, Ford, B, and Crawford, and there's Ford out there for Dundalk. Jabria Smith, number 4, goes up, no good. Rebound to Thomas, she pushes it all the way, no good. Rebound to Ford, back up, no good. Battle for the rebound, and it'll stay at Dundalk's end. So for Montgomery College, we have Daly, Tillman, Cunningham, Saccone, and Jabria Smith out there to start the second half.
I think the Lions answered our question. They're going to come out and play in the second half.
They sure are. There's Joyner, a rainbow jumper. And Smith comes out with the rebound and pushes it up the floor.
Montgomery College was very surprised at the full court press. That turnover by Jabria, she turned around and the press was in her face.
And there's Megan Tillman. That's another patented Megan Tillman shot there. Gets a nice feed. So the Raptors with 56 points in the first half. They've gone over 100 a couple of times during this 5-game streak. And of course, that's a clear indication that your offense is running on all cylinders. She tried to thread the needle there, Kiana Daly. There's B from long range, no good. Tillman with the rebound, pushes it up the floor. She gets nice pass to Saccone, who was fouled, no call. Cunningham, no good. Ford with the rebound. As Saccone got hacked on the wrist when she went up.
And that was a nice feed to Saccone. I didn't think that she was even going to get the ball to Saccone.
Shot no good. Ford with a nice rebound. Out to B. She drives, puts it up. No good. Daly with the rebound.
Good box out by Kiana Daly.
She pushes it up the floor. Nice look to Tillman. So Kiana Daly having a nice all-around game tonight.
The Raptors have really hurt the Lions in transition. Coach Long's Lions have not played well transition defense at all tonight.
There's Crawford, banks it in. Did she call it?
No, she did not.
There's Daly up the court. Ooh, slapped away there by Joyner. Saved an easy bucket for Montgomery College.
And again, the Raptors know where there's easy points to be scored. At this time, it was Megan Tillman beating everybody down the court. Previously, it's been Angelica Saccone, as we've seen.
And they've made a habit of that tonight, beating Dundalk down the floor. There's Daly for 3. Good. Boy, I tell you, when that shot is clicking, it's a thing of beauty.
And you're right, it looks good right off the fingertips. You can almost call net.
Oh, really? I tell you. She had 8 points in the first half. That's her first bucket of the second half. There's B. She answers a 3 with another 3. Tillman to Saccone, and again they beat him down the floor.
And that's Megan Tillman knowing how to play basketball, where in that case, usually you see a bounce pass, but there was people in the lane and she threw the ball over the defenders. That's just a very heady play, knowing how to play the game of basketball.
There's Crawford over Tillman for the bucket. So a very competitive second half here, but Montgomery College had that huge lead. And Montgomery College is going to take a timeout as
I think Coach Gasquet is going to remind them that they still have to play defense in the second half.
Well, that's sure. That's for sure. And while we have a moment here, we want to talk about one of the best and quickest ways to stay on top of what's happening in MC athletics, and that's to follow the Raptors on Facebook. And you can like us at facebook.com/TheRaptorsMC.
And that's a good way to get all your news and all your news fast. Anything there is to do with Montgomery College athletics. Hey, everybody knows that you have Facebook on your phone. Well, just like our Montgomery College Athletics Facebook page, and every time we post something, or Michael Simone from the athletics department that we all know, anytime he puts something up there, it's going to come to your phone, whether it be a score, whether it be a game time, you name it, it's going to be up on our Facebook page.
Well, Mike Simone is indeed our social media maven, and he does a great job. There's Crawford, no good. And battle for the rebound, and Pitts comes out of there with it. She loses the handle, and it'll go over to Montgomery College. So Shakayla Pitts has checked in for Dundalk.
She's one of Coach Long's new additions to the team, and with Shannon Hitchens and Kelly Alston out for the season, he needs a couple of new additions to go along with Miranda Vargas.
And Ford with the rebound off the miss. There's B for three. I do like saying that, B for three.
And that's a good name, Brianna B.
Yep. And she hits another three. Cunningham with a nice drive off the iron, no good. And who's there for the rebound and the putback?
Angelica Saccone knows where to be. I don't know how many times we can say it. I mean, we're beating a dead horse out here with Angelica Saccone knowing where to be.
And there's Crawford. She answers it with a three. So we're going to have us a high-scoring second half if this pace continues. And once again, Tarla Gasquet calling a timeout. She is not happy with her defense here in the second half.
Well, Michael, I'm no math major, but at the half, Dundalk had 23, and they've already got 18, and we've only played a few minutes in the second half.
So that does not make Coach Gasquet happy.
No.
She's got to love the way they're playing offense, but not so much on the defensive end, at least here in the early going in the second half. And we get our, they're on an 18-11 run. There's our stats guy, Evan Brown.
Our camera guy, Garrett, surprised me over here with that little red light.
Well, the reason why they have cut into the lead is they've been on an 18-11 run here to start the second half. Crawford has been a big part of that. Number 25, Crystal Crawford. And also Trenae Ford, number 1.
And when you're down 56-23 at half, you can come out and you can just shoot the ball. Sure, you don't want to be down 56-23, but you want to shoot the ball. And, there's really no reason to come out here and slow the ball and run your sets when you can get the ball and shoot it up, and that's what Dundalk has pretty much done, and they've hit their shots. And you mentioned Brianna B being a great shooter, and she's knocked down a couple of shots, and like you said, Crawford, and she's playing well too. So they've scored 18 points in less than 5 minutes.
Well, that's pretty good production. There's Cunningham. Muscles it up, no good, gets her own rebound, and she's fouled.
I think she's going to get 10 foul shots for that trip into the paint.
Boy, she got fouled many times, shall we say.
And, the little things Coach Gasquet is going to harp on with the Raptors, like coming out of the second half intermission break and giving up 18 points in 5 minutes. That's going to be something. Not the 56 points that they scored at halftime. She's going to say you gave up 18 points in 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's not going to make any coach happy. I don't care who they are, but let alone Tarla Gasquet. Nicole Coleman. Cunningham. She's a freshman with quite a story.
And Nicole Coleman, actually, I just got it from you.
Yeah, you got the Coleman disease.
Nicole Cunningham has, I wonder if she's reaping any of the benefits of her newfound fame, as she's been featured on a couple of the local networks. Channel 9 and Channel 4 ran stories about Nicole Cunningham and her interesting story.
Classic break there by Angelica Ciccone. Took about 5 hits, made the basket. It wasn't pretty, but it went in.
It counts.
There's Crawford from way outside, no good. Daly with a nice rebound. Daly's a solid rebounder, and there's a three.
You know, Nicole Cunningham knows that there's nobody physically on the Lions that can deal with her in the paint. She's getting the ball, and she's going strong to the hoop.
And they need her to be more aggressive. There's a nice look inside to Trenae Ford, and she makes it. So it's 72-43. Yeah, there have been times when we would have liked to see a little more of a physical play out of Nicole Cunningham, and we're seeing it tonight.
No, you're right. And probably, as we know, you just can't jump back onto the court, and be an All-American. It's going to take time. Her conditioning, was one of the things that she needed to work on. She's getting that. The timing is another thing that we saw all season long, and some of that stuff is coming around. And she rushed a lot of her shots. Every time she got the ball, not every time, but a lot of times she got the ball in the paint, she would go up too quick. Things are slowing down a bit now for Nicole Cunningham.
And that was Caprice Harvey, who is now in for the Raptors. Look inside, no good. There's Cunningham going up, no good. And Ford with the rebound.
It's funny, we say, well, Nicole has struggled this year, or she's been looking to find it. Well, she's only averaging 14 points and 10 rebounds. So
yeah.
A lot of players will say, I'd love to find 14 points and 10 rebounds when you wake up in the morning.
And she's getting better and better from the foul line as well. A lot of it's just getting the field. She missed 2 years of basketball. She had 2 kids. That's tough.
And that's the best part of our fan section every single game is her children in the audience.
As Jabria Smith missed a 3, and 72-43. Raptors well in front. But Dundalk is not giving up. This is a hard-playing team. That's one of the things that Rob Long likes the most about this team, is how hard they play.
Angelica Ciccone had another rebound. Her middle name should be double-double. I mean, she's put up so many throughout the season, or throughout her career, you should say.
And she's had multiple double-doubles during the last during this 5-game winning streak. And frankly, I think that's a big part of why they're playing so well. Without a doubt. Plays a lot of minutes. There's a long one by Crawford, no good. Another rebound for Daly, who's doing a nice job boxing out on the board. She gets it ahead to Ciccone. Nice job, nice body control.
Right. That was pretty.
That was pretty.
That certainly took a lot of coordination, and how she got the ball back underneath the backboard, I don't know. But when you're Angelica Ciccone, you do that kind of thing.
You make it happen, and she faded away is what she did. It was a little fadeaway jumper. As Cunningham lost control of the ball under the basket, and it'll stay down there. Dundalk's ball. And Amy Hart is checked back in for the Raptors. And here comes Sahara Sani in for Nicole Cunningham. And so we've got Ciccone, Daly, Hart, Sani, and Caprice Harvey out on the floor. 24 points for Angelica Ciccone, leading all scorers. And she gets another rebound. So she just got her double-double. That's her 10th rebound. And there's still 11:29 to go in the ball game, and already Angelica Saccone with a double-double as Amy Hart's fouled.
Amy Hart has been really, really making her own fast break today. She's gone coast to coast a couple of times.
I'm liking her aggressiveness. We saw some of this earlier in the season from her where she could really slice to the basket. Then it kind of went away. Now it's back, and let's hope it stays as far as the Raptors are concerned. Missed the first but makes the second. 75-43. Raptors well in front.
Hey, come tournament time, that's another role player that Coach Gasquet is going to need to come in and play big minutes.
Believe me, I traveled to Nationals last year with the Raptors. They are going to need a deep bench. Last year, they had a great team, but a very short bench because of injury and illness. And when you're playing at the Nationals and you're playing 3 games in 3 days, you got to have that kind of depth.
And there's a lot of basketball coming up. I mean, you have the Maryland JUCO tournament, you have the region tournament. So, you know, there's a second season on the horizon.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you, the better conditioned teams are going to be the ones that do well. And the Raptors are a good conditioned team. And they've played a lot of back-to-back games this year in preparation for what they're going to face in the postseason. As B drives to the basket, and she's fouled.
I'll tell you what, that Maryland JUCO tournament's going to be fun. I mean, right now, Chesapeake has pretty much separated themselves, you know, from the pack.
They are undefeated.
It's almost like who's going to get there to challenge Chesapeake, you know, in the championship. Now, sure, I mean, who's to say Chesapeake doesn't get upset? I wouldn't predict it. But the interesting thing is going to be who gets to see Chesapeake in the finals. It could be Montgomery College.
It very well could be. It very well could be.
I tell you what, I bet you Coach Gasquet would love to play Chesapeake again.
And she'd love to play them the way they're playing now. And she'd love to play them without Jabria Smith getting in foul trouble like she did when they played Chesapeake.
But Chesapeake is one of the better teams you and I have seen over the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
And they're all freshmen.
Yeah.
All freshmen.
And they've got 2 or 3 players who absolutely are going to play at a very high level for Division I four-year school.
Absolutely.
They're going to go to a big-time program. And number 31, Miranda Vargas, is in for Dundalk. There's a shot, no good. Amy Hart with the rebound, pushing it up the floor. Bailey into Sani, drives down the lane, puts it up, and she's fouled. So Zahara Sani,
playing the part of Kira McEllery tonight,
from Paint Branch High School. She'll be at the line, and she'll shoot 2.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about McEllery, who's injured tonight. But the last couple of times that we've seen the Raptors, she really stood out to us as providing a spark off the bench, using her length and her athleticism. She really rebounded the ball well the last time we saw the Raptors.
And they've been working with Sani on her offensive game mainly. She's a good defender, very fast, and very athletic, but still has not played that much organized basketball. Still needs some work on the offensive skills. But she's going to help them. Just a freshman. There's Vargas from way outside, no good. Rebound to Saccone. She pushes it up the floor. Nice pick there by Sani.
Wow.
That's a physical pick on number 11, Brianna B.
Wow, that was a heck of a pick.
It was clean.
Brianna B did not see Sani ready to set that pick, and nobody really called pick. That's one of the things that you have to do when you're playing defense, is call picks for your teammates. She caught it right in the chin.
Angelica Saccone with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists.
That's a nice night, and there's still 9:51 to play.
And she's had more than a couple of steals as well. So, as usual, filling up the stat sheet. Co-captain.
One of the things she needs to work on is she's only a 59% free throw shooter, and somebody who's doing the dirty work a lot in the paint, she's going to get to the line when it counts.
Yeah, because the ball's in her hands a lot, particularly under the basket. She missed both foul shots there. There's a shot, no good. Daly with the rebound again. She's having a nice half on the boards.
Yeah, she is. She's rebounding the basketball well.
There's Ciccone. Nice in pass to Megan Tillman, but Megan was fouled. Yeah, 10 rebounds in the game for Kiana Daly. 11 points, 10 rebounds, so she's got a double-double. And 6 assists.
And we came into this game
She's working on a triple-double.
Wow. And Trinae Ford for Dundalk was averaging 13.6 rebounds a game. That was one of the stats that jumped out to us to neutralize Ford on the boards, and it really has not been an issue. And Montgomery College has eventually, throughout the game, dominated on the boards.
As we get a couple more substitutions coming in for Montgomery College, number 42, Latasha Gross has checked in, and Jabria Smith has checked back in. So this is Gross's first appearance of the game. She's a freshman out of Laurel High School. And she's another one they're going to count on for some minutes in the postseason. There's Ford. No good. She puts up her own miss and makes it and is fouled, and she'll go to the line for a three-point opportunity.
You could see after Ford made that shot, she just turned around and just big breath of relief. Like, oh, it's about time.
Trinae Ford, very athletic player. Nice stroke on the foul shot, too. So the Raptors with a 30-point lead with 9:14 to go in the ball game. Ciccone all the way across to Smith. Smith for three, no good. Angelica Ciccone with another rebound and another putback. It's a very soft touch around the rim.
You're right, and you know it looked like it was gonna come hard off of the glass or off of the rim, but it just sits up there and dies and goes in the bucket.
It just nestled itself right into the basket.
I'm done with words for Angelica Ciccone. I just shake my head now and smile. Like, wow.
She's so much fun to watch. Inbounds to number 55, Mason Piper, and she gets it to go.
Nice bucket for Mason Piper.
So Megan Tillman takes a hard foul, and that's somebody you don't want to see hit the deck.
Yeah, she's had the injury bug strike quite often in her 2 years. We were talking to her before the game about her injury status, and she says she's doing great up in the head, but it's the body you always worry about.
Well, she's had a bad groin all season long. She says that's finally cleared up, but now it's an ankle problem. But, you know, when you play as hard as she does and as many minutes as she does, I guess it's almost inevitable. And, of course, she's had the knee problem. She missed the postseason last year with the knee problem, which really hurt the Raptors.
And she's the type of player, it's in her pedigree to hit the deck and get a bloody elbow and a bloody knee, and that type of player, you know, she puts all out effort and the injuries come.
Yeah, she doesn't have a half speed. She doesn't play it safe. She plays it with reckless abandon. There's Smith. Brings it out nicely. That was a good decision there. To Ciccone. There's Gross, and she's fouled. Nice move to the basket.
Hey, that was a decisive move. She got the ball at the top of the key. She made one step and went strong to the basket. That's what you want to see a young player do. Decisiveness on the offensive end of the basketball court is a big deal for a young player.
You know, we have not seen her that much this season, but Coach Gasquet tells me that she's got good offensive skills.
And she's got a nice shot right there. That follow through was beautiful.
She said she just needs more game experience. And excellent looking foul shooting form.
You and I look at each other like, wow, that's pretty good.
Great wrist action, the whole thing.
Nice.
So good job. So Raptors with 83 points now, so they're staring at 100 pretty hard.
Yeah, we might be mentioning Latasha Gross's name next year.
Wouldn't be surprised. Just a freshman. Again, there'll be a lot of Raptors coming back next year with just 4 graduating sophomores. And of course, you know that Tarla Gasque and company will be out there recruiting like crazy.
Oh yeah, on the recruiting trail.
Nobody outworks Tarla Gasque and her staff when it comes to recruiting.
And nobody outworks our Montgomery College television crew. She can send these video or these YouTube links all over the area. Say, hey, guess what? You can be on TV.
Well, not to blow the horn of MCTV, but I'm going to blow it anyway. The reason Kiana Daly is here is because she saw the Montgomery College games on YouTube.
She didn't come down here for the balmy weather out of New England. That's for sure.
No, we certainly haven't had a balmy winter. But no, Kiana Daly saw the games on YouTube, liked what she saw, liked what she heard about the program. And even though she lives right across the street from one of the D3 powers in the country, Roxbury,
that Montgomery College plays every year
in the Nationals,
yep.
She came down here to Montgomery College to go to school. So that's a testament to Tarla Gasque, that's for sure, and the program that she runs.
But you have to get on the phone and talk to a player, and the player has to buy into you as the coach. So that, I mean, sure, we could sit here and tell everybody in the world that MCTV brought Kiana Daly here, but we didn't. Coach Tarla Gasque brought Kiana Daly to Rockville.
Oh, absolutely. We just provided the entertainment.
That's right.
And the fans are having a great time. Got a nice crowd tonight, despite the fact that there's all kinds of dire predictions for weather out there.
The ice apocalypse is coming.
And taking a look at some of the overall stats, Montgomery College with a huge 47-28 rebounding edge, 11-6 in free throws, 7-4 in threes, 18-9 in assists. Wow. 34 out of 65 from the field.
That's still pretty good. I mean, they torched the nets in the first half, shooting 25 for 40. Again, I'm no math whiz, but 25 for 40 is pretty good.
It's more than half, I think.
I think you're right.
And there's a battle for the rebound. Mason Piper. And she traveled.
We can't worry about weather. We got another game to do.
We got another game to do is right. And it's going to be a big one. And I want to tell you, we better strap on our safety belts because those two teams are going to be burning up the court.
Yes, they are. Back and forth like thoroughbreds, let me tell you.
It's going to be like being at the Kentucky Derby.
Or like if you're like Latasha Gross from Laurel.
There you go. Laurel Raceway. There's no nags there. A nice scoop shot. And number 23, Trayona Thomas will go to the line. And she'll have a chance to complete that three-point play.
Well, we were hoping that Coach Long's Lions would come out, and play hard, and they did. They have, and that's a testament to their coach, and them as players. They came out here and they wanted to shoot. Said, hey, you want to shoot? Let's go.
Megan Tillman in all kinds of foul. They don't call it. With 6:37 to go and a nice big lead, it's no wonder they're letting them play a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the whistles go in the pocket a little bit when it's a 30-plus point game,
And the Raptors have played good defense, except for that first little spurt there at the start of the second half. They played good defense tonight.
Well, Coach Gasque called a couple of timeouts. Said, hello, we're going to play some defense whether you like it or not.
Well, Jabria Smith got away with a travel there.
I'm glad you called that one. I wasn't going to, but I was thinking it.
She took a stroll down the lane.
We have to commend tonight's referees. they let this game play out as a basketball game. And a lot of times we always sit here and say, let them play, just let them play.
Yeah, I can think of a couple of games we've done this year where the whistles were a little too frequent.
I know, and we keep lauding the exploits of Chesapeake, but that game was something to behold from the refereeing standpoint. But they got beat on the court. Let's make no mistakes about that.
As Angelica Ciccone makes the first. 6:13 to go in the game. And the Raptors well above their season average in points. Raptors averaging 77.4 points a game while allowing 62, so they're right on schedule defensive-wise, and they're way above their average on the offensive end. But that's been kind of the story of this 5-game streak.
I think that number that the Raptors scoring 77 a game, I think that number is probably should be around 85. I mean, we're at 87 now, but there were just a couple of games that they could not shoot the basketball.
No, I can think of one in particular against Hagerstown where it was like the basket had a lid on it.
I mean, so they're scoring 77 points a clip, but that should be, 80 to 85. This is an 80 to 85 point scoring basketball team.
Well, and that's the way the offense is designed. That's the style of play that they want to put out there. They want to push the basketball. And that's why when Rob Long was talking about a half-court ugly game, I'm thinking I haven't seen the Montgomery College Raptors women's team play a half-court ugly game in my memory.
Maybe she thought, maybe Coach Long thought his good friend Coach Gasquet was going to play a nice host and say, "Hey, Coach, I'll play a half-court game with you. I like you. You're a good guy." No way. He knew that too.
There's Gross with a nice kick out to Smith. No good. Battle for the rebound. So Latasha Gross giving him some nice minutes out there.
And Jabria hasn't had her best shooting night from the perimeter. That's one thing I know. She hit an early three, but her outside shot hasn't been falling. She's been driving the length of the court, as we've seen many a time.
No, but she's been picked up because by great nights by Ciccone, Daly, Tillman, Cunningham. It's been another team effort, and that's the other outstanding thing that jumps out at me about this 5-game winning streak is the kind of balanced scoring that they've had. Out of those 5 games, I want to say at least 4 of them, all 5 starters have scored in double figures.
Well, the one thing about Montgomery College is when you look in the box score, they have 5 players averaging double digits. That's a huge deal. You have 5 basketball players that are in double digits. You're going to score some points. Now it tails off, so they want to get more help from outside of the top 5. I mean, your next highest scorer, for instance, is Kira McKellery at 3.1 a game. So you have your 5 starters, and sure, we talk about how much depth they have, but putting players out on the court just to run up and down is one thing, but you need some contributions, and 3 points from from outside the top 5 is not going to get it done come tournament time.
No, you're right, because if one of those 5 or more, 2 of those 5 get into foul trouble, then you might be in trouble.
I mean, we saw it against Chesapeake. They needed such a lift, and who was it that came off the bench? It was Ashley Ladder.
So, yeah, they are going to need another threat coming off the bench who can score. Now, right now, McKellery is hurt, but I talked to her before the game. She said she thought she would be fine by tournament time. She's got over a week. They will not play. This is the Raptors' last regular season game. They are now off until the start of Maryland JUCO, which will be most likely next Tuesday. The seedings have yet to be determined, but it looks like it'll be next Tuesday. They call it travel on Megan Tillman.
And headed into the Maryland JUCO tournament, it's sort of an unfamiliar state for the Raptors. Right now they're 5th in seeding going into the tournament.
But they could easily be 4th or 3rd even.
And usually they're 1 or 2, or they're the team to beat going into the Maryland JUCO tournament. I wonder how Coach Gasquet is going to prep her team going into that tournament as almost like a dark horse or an underdog. And it's like, wait a minute, Montgomery College, a dark horse? They're the Maryland JUCO power. it's a different role this year.
Yeah, and of course Maryland JUCO, the tournament is made up of D1, 2, and 3 schools. And then of course the whole separate thing is the Region 20 tournament. And those are only D3 schools, and of course the winner of that will then go on to districts. If they win the districts, then they go on to the national championship tournament.
You know, and it's interesting, we've seen in the past where, you know, Montgomery College could actually lose in the Maryland JUCO tournament, and then they can go into the district or into the Region 20 and play D3 teams and blow teams out by 35 and 40 points.
There's a big difference between D1 and D3, even at the 2-year level. And Tarla knows that, and that's exactly what's happened the last 2 years. They lost in the Maryland JUCO tournament, but then swept the table in the Region 20 tournament, won the districts, and went to nationals.
And look what they did to begin the season. You know, look what she did for a schedule. She went up and started playing these tournaments against the best teams in the country, like Roxbury, for instance. And you put those teams on your schedule to begin the season, then you're going to just prepare yourself for the Maryland JUCO tournament, which are playing big-time schools that can recruit and give scholarships. And then you get against the teams that are, quote-unquote, your peers, and you dominate them in the region tournament.
They played Hillsboro, a D1 team from Florida, who, I mean, boy, that's a deep, professional-looking college basketball team.
What's that, the second time we've seen Hillsboro?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, they've got some players. So they haven't shied away from the tough competition.
But again, we talk about, you know, the rankings, and of course for guys in TV, it's nice to throw around, oh, Montgomery College is ranked 3 in the country. You know what that means?
Means nothing.
Zero.
Nothing.
It means nothing. It means that you can put it up on our daily newsletter on Inside MC Online and say, hey, the number 3 ranked Raptors, you know, play CCBC-Dundalk tonight. Well, it means nothing. It really means nothing. What happens is the tournaments come, and that's what dictates your entire season. It's unfortunate because you can have a great regular season, and you can get knocked out in the beginning of the tournament, and your season's over.
Oh, it's happened. It's happened.
There's no field of 64. There's no voting body. There's no RPI index that tells you, oh, well, on computer, this team is better than that team. Well, no, it doesn't mean anything. It means that you're going into a tournament, and you're going to play for your victories.
Nice move there by Triana Ford. And it's 89-61, 3:42 to go in the ball game. Well in hand for Montgomery College. This will end up being their 6th straight win. They'll move to 17-9 on the season and 9-4 in the league. As they are finishing the season, they have taken step 1 of their many goals, and their first goal was to finish out the last 6 games of the season without a loss, and it looks like they're going to do that tonight. And we still see Tarla Gasquet over there coaching. She's ahead by almost 30 points, but you know, she's not backing off. It's always a teaching, learning moment with her.
As well, it should be, because a coach like her. Again, it's 89-61, but she's seeing things that maybe we're not. You know, they're up 28 points, and we're seeing, oh, you know, Kiana's having a good game, and Angelica's scoring another 25 points. She doesn't see that. She's seeing your missed assignment. She's seeing you not running your play. She's seeing you not get back on defense, and that's what coaching's all about. But she's not a yeller, and that's another thing.
No, she is not.
The demeanor for her is infectious to the team, because the team never seems to get frazzled emotionally out on the court.
No, she's a pretty even-tempered person. She will, you know, she can be intense, but she's not a yeller. She's not a screamer.
Well, in that sense, it carries more weight. You know, she's not going to throw a chair across the court. When she gets mad, they're going to know it.
And we've got Angelica Ciccone at the line. And she is got her 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. So quite a game for Angelica. And we are getting actually to that point in the game, Marcus, where we need to pick our player of the game. And I don't think we're going to have too tough of a time today.
No, this is going to be an easy one. Even if Angelica misses this free throw, we're still going to give her the player of the game. Well, she just earned it.
And she makes the free throw. So, yeah, without a doubt, Angelica Saccone going to be our player of the game. Meanwhile, Megan Tillman very quietly, 18 points, 6 rebounds.
Hey, you know, it's the faces of this franchise for the last 2 years now. And how better way to go out than for them those two players to really fill up the box score.
Amy Hart with 11 on sophomore that night. That's nice to see. Nice shot there by Triana Ford. And we're down to 3 minutes to go in the ball game. So it's been a nice balanced effort, but again, Angelica Saccone is going to be our player of the game with her double-double. Trinae Ford.
And even Ashley Ladder
picks
came
up
out.
the foul.
And Ashley Ladder came out and hit her opening 3-point shot.
That's for sure. So we've gotten contributions, good contributions from all 4 sophomores tonight, and that's nice to see. And there she is, Angelica Saccone, player of the game.
She's been our player of the game a couple of times, I think, Michael.
And that's the one shot you remember where she came well into the basket and then faded back to hit it beautifully.
Nice camera shot by the Seahawks fan underneath that basket.
Oh, he's still happy from that Sunday shellacking of the Broncos.
Shellacking, yeah, that's a good word for it.
As that's our Seahawks fan over there, Ed Clark, under the basket. .245 to go in the game, and there's a double dribble.
And there is no truth to the rumor that he's going to get an I Heart Russell Wilson tattoo.
Well, that is a young quarterback to like. That kid has got quite the future in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not a Seahawks fan, but he is I won't tell you who I'm a fan of, but he's my favorite non-favorite team player. Let's put it that way. Nobody needs to know who my favorite NFL team is on the air.
Yeah, we won't mention the Cowboys.
Jeez.
Amy Hart took a long, strange trip down the lane and lost the handle there.
I think our YouTube comments are going to go up, and I don't think I'm going to like them very much.
2:13 to go in the ball game.
Well, what more can the Raptors ask? 6 straight wins going into tournament time, and we've said it all season. When is the team going to become the team that we thought they were going to be? They had the talent. From day one, we came here, and I remember our first opening. How is she going to take all these puzzle pieces and put them together, Coach Gasquet? And I'm not saying they're there yet. We're not sure if they're there yet. But 6 wins in a row, you can't get better than that going into tournament time.
They've broken 100 a couple of times during that streak. They've had good balance on the offensive end. The defense has turned it up a notch, I think. They've cut down on turnovers. They definitely have less turnovers tonight than they've had on average this season. So that's a good sign as well.
Now,
and no foul trouble tonight.
No, that's another good thing. And that's a danger when we were talking about how their 5 starters average double figures, and then the point totals dip way down. You get in foul trouble, that's a recipe for disaster. But how big is that win out in Baltimore the other night when they were down by 13 points and the coach looked them and said, "Who are you as a team?" And they answered the bell. They really did.
They sure did. That was a character win, and sometimes it's a win like that can turn everything around. Give a team a lot of confidence, and they're playing like a very confident team tonight. No tentativeness at all out there. And Trinae Ford, she's been a shining light out there for Dundalk tonight.
What a great reach she has. That last rebound that she actually got was back over her head, and her long arms reached up and grabbed it. You can see why she averages almost 14 boards a game.
She'll be back next year. She averages a double-double, so she is going to be a handful.
Oh, she's going to be a
year.
really good player next year.
91-67 with just over a minute to go. Doesn't look like the Raptors will crack the 100 mark tonight.
Hey, Coach Long, if he can keep his kids healthy for next year, I think there's going to be a different ball game when when these two teams meet next year. And with him, it's been 2 years in a row where it's been health, whether it be the team getting sick or, for instance, a broken hand or an ACL like it is tonight.
There's Tillman, in and out, no good. Less than a minute to go in the ball game. Raptors have this one well in hand.
I like the fact that Coach Long has this other life, if you would, this media life where he does the sports talk show. He hosts the sports show on TV. He's pretty much a celebrity in Baltimore, but yet he gives the time, to be a coach, of these student athletes, and you got to hand it to him. The guy obviously loves basketball. I mean, he was a coach over at the College of Notre Dame, so even though you can talk about sports all day, being on the court with these players is just a totally different experience.
As Crawford hits a nice three, and we're down under 30 seconds to go in the ball game. 91-70. Raptors have this one well in hand. $20 seconds to go in the ball game. There's Pitts with her first basket of the game. And the clock has stopped. Now it's going again. There's Ciccone. This time they're not going to bother with the clock. And Cunningham, no good. And that is the end of the ball game. And our final score, the Montgomery College Raptors 91 and the CCBC-Dundalk Lions 72. And Marcus and I will be right back with a recap of the game and a look at the final stats after this quick break. You're watching Montgomery College basketball on MCTV.
One word to describe Montgomery College: awesome.
Interesting.
Fun.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Inspirational.
Spectacular. Family.
Nice.
Diverse.
Excellent.
Surprising. Perfect.
Opportunity.
Fun.
Great.
Exhausting.
Inspiring.
Flexible. Excellent.
Awesome.
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 No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Register today.
Welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, where once again our final score, the Montgomery College Raptors 91 and the Dundalk Lions 72. Completely dominating win by Montgomery College from start to finish.
It was, and they're going to go into tournament time on a 6-game winning streak. We just talked about it, how important that Baltimore victory was, going to Baltimore, working the game into overtime. That's a signature win. They didn't miss a beat tonight. They played a team that, quite frankly, they're much better than, much deeper than, and they only allowed 23 points at halftime. They were up 51-23 at halftime, 56-23 at halftime. Angelica Ciccone on sophomore night was fantastic. Our player of the game, Megan Tillman, she was fantastic as well. So this was a really, really good, solid win on sophomore night for the Raptors.
Well, and that's exactly the kind, we've talked all this season about there have been games over teams that they should have beaten. Hagerstown comes to mind. That on paper, you look at it, no contest. Montgomery College should win that game, but they have lost those games.
And that's not something that Coach Gasquet's teams have done in the past.
No.
They always beat the teams they should, and this year was different.
But all of a sudden, they've gotten it together at just the right time. I've said it a couple of times during the game. Coach Gasquet told me the other day, she said, listen, I'm finally seeing the team that I thought I would see all season long. She said, I enjoy watching this team play now. They're playing together. They know where each other is on the court. They're meshing. They're playing like a team. And let's take a look at some of the final stats, if we can. First of all, point-wise, Angelica Ciccone, our player of the game, 29 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, also in double figures for the Raptors. Tillman with 18, Hart with 11, and Daly with 11.
And Daly gets a double-double herself with 10 rebounds. And again, Angelica Ciccone just seems to get it done in the box score, whether it be a rebound, whether it be a steal, whether it be a pass, whether it be a layup or a 15-foot baseline jumper. She just seems to do all of the right things on the court, and that makes it all the better when she hustles as well as anybody else on the court. So Angelica Ciccone is really, the last couple of years, has been the face of Montgomery College, and as will with Megan Tillman and Ashley Latter and Amy Hart. And what a great way to send those young ladies out to tournament time, and it'll be the last time that, that we see them here in Raptors uniforms.
Well, that's true. It was sophomore night here at Montgomery College. Our 4 sophomores, Angelica Ciccone, Megan Tillman, Amy Hart, and of course the fan favorite Ashley Latter. They were all honored, and justifiably so, before the start of our game. Their final home game, their final regular season home game here at Montgomery College, they all did well tonight. They all scored, and so it's a fitting end to their regular season career here at Montgomery College.
Good for those young ladies, but I guess there's a caveat to everything here. They gave up 49 points in the second half, and Coach Gasquet is not going to be happy. Hey, the game was well in hand, we know that, but they relaxed a little bit on defense. So, sure, they're riding high on a 6-game winning streak going into tournament time, but practices aren't going to be super fun after this game.
Oh no, you know, coaches, they always coach. I mean, that's their job. There's always something, and obviously she's going to see some things in that second half to work on before the tournament start. Now, don't go anywhere. We've got the second game of our doubleheader coming up, the Montgomery College men taking on the nationally ranked Dundalk Lions. We'll be right back with game 2 of our doubleheader after this. You're watching Montgomery College basketball on MCTV.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Register today.
Raptor comes from a Latin word that refers to a thief, a plunderer, or a seizer. So something that seizes something else. And so that's why birds of prey are called generally raptors, because of that hunting, carnivorous nature.